Hello, ladies and gentlemen, Kris Gethin here. Today's episode is explaining to you, bodybuilders, fitness enthusiasts, beginners, nutritional mistakes you should avoid. I hear this every day through my social networks, through clients, from people at the gym, everybody. So I decided to address all of these details today. I'm going to start off with salt here because I've got it right in front of me. I've got sea salt, I've got garlic salt. One of the things that I hear constantly from bodybuilders is that they say, I'm feeling weak, I'm feeling lethargic, I don't have the strength that I should have, I don't feel explosive within the gym. And then I speak to them about their diet and then I find out that they cut out salt completely, thinking that this is going to make them look fat, okay, and it's going to give them a smooth appearance. This is not the case. If you are taking sodium over a certain period of time, your body adapts to this. Not only this, it helps saturate the cell. We always want to saturate the cell with hydration to ensure that we have plenty of output and a little bit of insulation around the joints. You always hear of that bodybuilder when they've depleted themselves of fat and of salts before a bodybuilding show, their joints are sore and they succumb to a lot of injuries sometimes. And that's because there's a lot of brittleness in their connective tissue because they're not holding that much fluid. I suggest that you take salt with your foods. If you don't have any heart conditions, you don't have angina or anything like that, add it to your food. Remember, you sweat a lot, and dependent on the climate or the humidity of where you're living, you could be getting rid of a lot of electrolytes and minerals that is not going to allow your muscles to contract or give you that strength. So I always consider this mineral, salt, very similar to the amino acid of creatine. Creatine helps saturate the cell. This is its mineral brother. I think that actually does a very similar thing for the bodybuilder. So get the salt on your meals, add a little pinch of like sea salt or rock salt to your meals, and I can pretty much guarantee that you will see and feel improved performance. Another nutritional mistake is missing meals. We all know that. It isn't really something that's rocket science, is it? But a lot of people miss meals, but they'll only think to themselves at the end of the week, well, I only missed 3 or 4 meals. That can really add up and make a substantial difference in your gains. If you are going for prolonged periods without a meal, okay, and you are, and I don't know how active you are, but if you are very active and you don't have a steady influx of amino acids going into your bloodstream and into your muscles, and your primary goal is purely muscle building, you could be sacrificing yourself of some very essential gains. So do whatever you can to be prepared and make sure that you eat within around every 3 hours, right? Try to fit it into that window. Remember, there's a lot of different nutritional protocols out there. There is intermittent fasting, which does have its place, but if it doesn't work for you and your goal is specifically muscle building, make sure that you don't miss any of those meals and ensure that you have meal frequency throughout the day. Another point I want to touch on, drastically reducing calories, especially if you're on a diet, is not going to help you with your goals. If you reduce all your calories very, very quickly, where have you got to go? You have nowhere to go once you hit a plateau. So if you pull your calories down, as an example, from say 3,000 to 2,000 or 1,800 straight away off the bat, and you hit a plateau, what are you going to do? Reduce them to 1,500, 1,000, 500? That's not going to be a sufficient way to do it. What I suggest that you do is slowly reduce those calories week by week. Keep an eye on the scales, look in the mirror. As you hit a plateau, then you'll make those additional changes, not before you hit a plateau. Whilst we're talking about calories, carbohydrate reduction won't help you either. If you have a certain amount of fats, a certain amount of protein, a certain amount of carbohydrates, and all of a sudden you eliminate all those carbohydrates, you could substantially bring your metabolic sustenance down and your metabolism down to a standstill, and wonder why you don't have the energy to perform throughout your workouts. You need those carbohydrates to sustain your endurance and to sustain a lot of volume that you're looking to perform and adhere to within the gym, and even for strength gains. And make sure that you have those carbohydrates in place. Even if you're a strength trainer or power lifter, You need those carbohydrates in there to give your muscles adequate glycogen for those fast twitch muscle fibers to respond to the explosive nature of your lifts, because I know from experience powerlifters will generally train for around 2 hours. That's a long time. You'll need some carbohydrates in your diet to sustain those strength gains and that periodization through a certain amount of time. So hopefully these tips have really helped you today, and these are some mistakes that you will avoid in the future.